And good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Erin Maney. I'm the manager of communications and community engagement at SUNY Online, and I'm so pleased to be the moderator for today's National Distance Learning Week session. There are a few housekeeping items. If you wouldn't mind making sure your mics are muted as the session's being recorded. We will have time for Q&A at the end, but you can also type any questions in the chat as we go along, and I'll be happy to be sure that Robin sees those. And we'd love for you to start off our session by introducing yourself in the chat. It helps us know where you're tuning in from, what your background is, that sort of thing. So thank you for that ahead of time. So I'm excited to introduce a peer of mine in SUNY, Robin Sullivan. Robin is a teaching and learning strategist with the University at Buffalo Libraries. And she's dedicated to lifelong learning and connecting people and ideas, as I'm sure you'll see in her presentation. Robin is also the director of the SUNY Exploring Emerging Technologies for Lifelong Learning and Success Initiative, otherwise fondly known as MTech. This online learning opportunity is open to all, and it encourages participants to explore the values and the implications of using emerging technologies for your personal and your professional growth. Robin has been recognized through SUNY as at the SUNY Faculty Advisory Council on Teaching and Technology Excellence and Instructional Support. She is the recipient of 3 of our SUNY Effective Online Practice Awards, and she's earned the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Professional Service. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Robin and allow you all to hear about this wonderful opportunity. So thank you for being here today.
Great. Thank you, Erin, and thank you for the opportunity to share information about SUNY MTech. The URL for the project website is on the screen for the purpose of the recording. I'm going to read it off to you. It is, we have a new URL also. The other one will still work, but it's mtech.suny.edu, and that's emtech.suny.edu. So please feel free to refer to this website as often as needed. And I'm also sharing a link to today's slides. We will talk about how we can extend teaching strategies using emerging technologies throughout this presentation. Erin did introduce me, but if you need to find me in the UB directory or anywhere, Roberta is my legal name, but everybody calls me Robin. I'm with UB in the library, and my email's up on the screen. Feel free to reach out if you have questions or are interested in adopting MTech at your campus for any part of your teaching, learning, or research needs. And I also want to acknowledge a colleague, Nicole Simon. She is a STEM professor at Nassau Community College, and she's unable to join me here today, but she's been a very critical force in keeping MTech rolling. We have many partners throughout the SUNY system who have helped us to create this great learning opportunity. Faculty, staff, and students, probably I think close to about 100 different people had ways of helping and expanding this opportunity that started through one of the SUNY Innovative Instruction Technology grants way back when. So one of the main ideas that MTech tries to address is that there are millions and billions of choices of emerging technologies that come out regularly. They are coming out fast and furious every day. They are growing and they change in their scope, in the quality, and how is somebody to know what to choose? That's one of the main ideas that MTech tries to assist with, is to help you and your learners find the tools that are most appropriate for the objectives that you're trying to achieve. So the concept of MTech is that we teach about discovery learning to help people explore and reflect on innovative and creative uses of emerging technologies. And it is targeted to pretty much anybody who has an interest to stay current with the rapidly changing technology evolution, but it's especially well suited for college level students on up and instructors, and it's very useful for both beginning and advanced users. you make the learning opportunity meaningful for your area and for your level. The project has two different main pieces. One piece of that is the MTech MOOC. And a MOOC is just a fancy word. It means massive open online course. If any of you are in the online learning area, it was the word of the year back in 2012. And Coursera is one of the most popular MOOC platforms. A MOOC is it's an online course, and it's very similar to a learning management system that SUNY has just adopted, the Brightspace technology learning management system. And we provide MTech through Coursera. It gives a structured course and a supportive learning opportunity through the discussion forums in the Coursera platform. You can see one of the critical people who has helped MTech throughout the years. Chris Price is one of our featured faculty staff in the videos in MTech, but it's a very constructivist-based learning opportunity where there's not a lot of content like most massive open online courses. We give you maybe just little snippets, 2 or 3 minute videos that explain the concepts of maybe how technology can be used for lifelong learning or for open educational resources. And then we ask you to explore the resources on your own and share with the fellow participants. So that course is organized into 5 different modules. It can be completed in as little as 5 hours. The concepts that the modules cover include lifelong learning. That's the very first module, the most, I think, content-rich module. We teach about Creative Commons, your digital footprint, open educational resources, how to make sure whatever you create is accessible for everyone, and a number of other topics. And then the other modules focus on the 4 C's of 21st century skills. Communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. These are the 4 skills that the National Education Association has identified as the skills that employers most want to see in the people that they hire. The other part of MTech is MTech Wiki. And if you go to the URL that Erin had shared at the very beginning, you can get to the wiki. It's a standalone resource. It's a public website. You can use this wiki totally independent of the course if that's what you so desire. And it's collection. We have more than 600 freely available tools, tutorials, and resources linked to the wiki. It was developed through crowdsourcing. So we started with about 150 different tools and tutorials, and we are now up to more than 600. These resources are used within the course, the MTech MOOC course, to complete discovery activities. This is a blow up of the wiki. And right now I did realize that we have a little bit of our searching function has a little bit of a bug. So it's not as intuitive to search through right now. We'll get our programmer on that and get that fixed right away. But when you come from one of the modules in the MTech course, it will take those 600 resources. And if you're coming from the communication and collaboration module, it will then narrow down those resources to just the items that will help you communicate and collaborate. Then you can select from the filters on the left side to choose from a small selection of objectives. So if you wanted to share information, you can choose that as one of the objectives. And then you can narrow down even further to about 20 or so big emerging technology categories. And actually, I have to update this slide. We have recently added artificial intelligence as a category. And so that is another area that you can explore. I think we have about 20 AI resources that are relevant to teaching and learning. So you can narrow this down, and then it'll show you a selection of appropriate resources. You can then click on the different records and read a little bit more about them and then go to that resource. So if you're interested, right now there's an example of the Elements of Design quick reference poster, and you can go there and you can access the poster and any of the other resources as well. So I mentioned that it is a wiki. Wiki just means that it is available for others to contribute content. So if you go to the contribute menu, you can create a separate login. It's separate from logging into Coursera. And you can then add to a new resource. Please be sure to search first to see if that resource is in MTech already. And you can also add to currently existing tools. So if you have a tutorial or something, just even correcting a small typo, please go in and edit the current resources. It's a moderated wiki, so that means when somebody makes a change, it runs past the MTech team to make sure that it's within the scope, and it is an accessible and reliable tool to share. So this learning process can be broken down into 4 steps. First thing you do if you're interested to participate in the course is you go in and enroll. You read, view, and participate with the course materials. And then you would be directed to explore the tools and tutorials within the wiki and complete a discovery exercise. The discovery exercise asks you to create an account on the resource that you located. And so, for example, if you discovered something about creating captions for YouTube, you would be asked to create an account, create a video, add some captions, and then share a short reflection about what it is that you learned through that discovery exercise in an e-portfolio that you are encouraged to develop. We have about 40 freely available portfolio tools that are linked to from the wiki. And once you do that for each of the modules, you're then able to earn digital badges through SUNY and a Coursera certificate of completion. So why would you even want to bother with this? What are the rewards? What's in it for the learners? Well, the one thing is you can begin a personal e-portfolio. You can then use that portfolio to continue to develop your professional digital footprint. And many faculty who have gone through the project have used their e-portfolio as they then go through the tenure and promotion process, and they share that information about the reflections about how they're using these tools within their teaching. And that portfolio can continue to evolve throughout your life. And you can create many portfolios for specific purposes if that's what you desire. But in addition to the portfolio, you would earn a Coursera certificate of completion, SUNY digital badges that you can then share through social media and through your LinkedIn profile, through your resume. And the biggest reward we hope everybody gets out of this is just the intrinsic rewards of being a lifelong learner and learning habits about how you can be self-reliant and direct your own learning pathways. So we do have some improvements that we are continually working on. We are continually trying to improve the keyword, the tagging, and the searching function in MTech. We have recently added a few special interest groups into the searching abilities. So virtual exchange and COIL are items that many people throughout SUNY are very familiar with. COIL has always been extremely supportive of MTech. So we do have a category that has just a few resources that the COIL faculty and students have identified as useful for courses that are offered through their program. We are working on increasing our reach to K-12 specific instructors. So right now, the target audience is college students on up, but we do want the instructors for K-12 to also frequent this resource. So we have recently had a National Education Association grant to help us in that effort. One thing we learned through that grant is that the accessibility and the security and the global availability of resources is something that people are very interested to understand. And so we have started to take steps to evaluate, more critically evaluate the resources and tutorials that are in the MTech Wiki. We have maybe about 1/10 of those resources evaluated already. If anybody has any students who would like to help us, we have a rubric that we're going through and linking some of that evaluation data back to the records. You can click on it and find the information about whether or not the tool is accessible, or if it has some downfalls that might make it not the best use for all learners. And also there's a few tools that are not globally accessible. YouTube, Google are some critical tools that are not available in all areas of the world. So we're going to try to clearly identify that and incorporate that into the programming connection in the MTech Wiki. So MTech is free for everybody. Everybody across the globe can participate in the entire course for free. If you are from SUNY, whether you are a faculty, a staff member, a student, or alumni, a COIL partner from our international partners within COIL, you can also earn the Coursera certificates and badges at no cost. Just by registering with your SUNY email address. If you don't have a SUNY email address anymore, if you happen to be an alumni, you can just send us an email and we will make sure to get you in there. If you're not associated with SUNY, there is a small charge to participate in Coursera and earn the certificate. Keep in mind, I want to try to make it clear, everybody in the world can participate for free. If you want the certificates and the badges, you have to either be from SUNY, or there's a number of other promotional offerings through Coursera. Many other campuses and institutions have partnerships. Many people throughout SUNY don't know that their students and themselves, faculty and staff, can enroll in any Coursera, or I'm sorry, 95% of Coursera courses and certificates and not have to pay any fees. So there's a number of other institutions that have those same partnerships. The New York State Department of Labor has made a partnership with Coursera that if you can say that you are underemployed, you can also get an account to register for any of the Coursera learning opportunities. And a number of other states have also made that same partnership. So even if you are the president of a campus, you might feel that you're underemployed because there's always somewhere to go next. And these partnerships through the Department of Labor will allow somebody that is interested to participate at no cost. And then Coursera has a number of other ways to participate. You can find information about that on the FAQ page on the site, and that will kind of point you in the right direction, or feel free to reach out to myself or Nicole, or we have a contact page as well. So the MTech project is an open educational resource, and it is made to help create open educational resources. Campuses can adopt or adapt the entire project. There have been faculty who have asked their students to participate in the entire MOOC. Sometimes it's been for course activities and course assignments. Sometimes it's been as extra credit. Other faculty have adopted just a single module, either the lifelong learning module or other modules, and made that as part of the students' course activities and incorporated them with the other assignments that the students are doing in their courses. On the MTech website, we do have a video that was from a number of faculty who adopted MTech as part of your course, as part of their courses. And they are able to share information about their experiences through that video. You can take a look at that. If you have a career center or a student success initiative on your campus, it would be a wonderful resource. And also just faculty professional development. I think that is the inspiration behind MTech. And we have seen cohorts at campuses do a really great job of embracing a collaborative learning opportunity. We had faculty in our School of Nursing who just brought their laptops to the lunchroom during the winter break, and they just sat there together and learned together and shared their experiences and shared the support for each other as they were learning and sharing and discovering new tools that they might be able to use in their course assignments. So you can use MTech Wiki to find tools and resources and to create open educational resources. We also want to share some great information, an example of somebody taking MTech and really adopting it and embracing it. We just recently launched a Ukrainian version of MTech, and we work together with the organizations that you see on the bottom of your screen, the Department of the Education USA, and often also the American Councils for International Education. And we have launched a translated version of MTech, and this was translated by human translators. It is available and being marketed through the country of Ukraine on a platform that they have developed, and they are also now issuing free certificates for the individuals that register through their platform. And so that's really wonderful to see that something that has originated through SUNY is making an impact through a country that has been devastated, and their education system has been certainly hindered in the recent experiences that they're going through. So it was great to be able to make this available for Ukraine citizens. The MTech course has also recently been translated into 20 other languages. So if you have international students who prefer to learn in their own original language, they can do that. And it's great to see everybody participate. So I do want to share just a few examples of some resources that are in SUNY MTech. Just going to highlight a couple. And so we have Edpuzzle is it's a quizzing type of activity that let's see if I can get this out here. Actually, I didn't log in, so I'm not going to interrupt us to do that. Edpuzzle is used by Nicole Simon in her classes. And if you wanted to get an example of how she uses that, she would love to connect with you. Padlet is another resource that many people do use. Your students would not need to create an account in order to access this. This is again a resource that Nicole has used in her teaching, where she asks students to post videos and resources and share information. It's different than a discussion forum, but it's a nice platform for a visual way to share and collaborate. And Powtoon is another resource. Powtoon is under the creativity section in MTech. And this resource was created by Chris Marchese. Chris is an MTech fellow, and she has been extremely instrumental in helping us to have MTech be more adopted throughout many different resources. So I'm just going to play this a little bit. There's no voice, but I'm just going to let the video play a little bit. So Powtoon was, she created this animation. She did not have to do any programming. It's a very drag and drop way of creating animation to explain a specific concept. So that's a great resource as well. A resource that I had explored is using creating 360-degree images. And I'm going to bring you to, this is the portfolio that I've been developing. I've been working on it for many decades, and I keep changing the design and adopting. And so this is a 360-degree image that I created with my smartphone. I did not need to use a 360-degree camera. I didn't have to carry it around, just use my smartphone, and I'm able to create 360-degree images. There's also virtual tours that can be created using 360 images. And it's just another way if your students can't go to a certain location. My mouse is actually making this do some strange things. You can, use the smartphone to create the 360 image and then create interactive hotspots on the image to explain, this is the Lake Erie waterfront in Buffalo. And so I just wanted to share that. And another resource that somebody had shared is a Zotero collection of articles about gamification and game-based learning. So I met Josh at the Serious Play conference, and he has this great Zotero library that is just a number of articles, scholarly articles about using gamification. And so he shared the game-based learning collection that he has developed. And there's also a link to just a general Zotero library that talks about different resources that are scholarly articles. So that's a great thing to take a look at. So I'd like to ask you to possibly do a little bit of exploring. If Erin, if you can share the link to the MTech website in the chat for me, I'd appreciate that. It's mtech.suny.edu. And I'd love to have you go to the website, take a look at some of the resources, and I will ask you to maybe share back a resource that you might be familiar with, or a resource that you have not yet discovered that looks like it might help you in your teaching, learning, or research initiatives. So if you get to the MTech website, you can go to the menu and you would go to the Discover page. So if you click on Discover, it will bring you to the MTech website. And like I said, we do have just a little bit of a hiccup on our searching. So if you continually get 604 hits on your searches, go back up and hit Discover, and it will try to start you out. So if I was interested in exploring the creativity resources, I would click on creativity. And I can see that the resources start to narrow down. So there's then 442 that would help us be creative. And you can then choose from the objectives. If you wanted to tell a story, you can narrow it down even further, down to about 165. And then also under categories, you can say, well, I'm interested to use video in my storytelling, and it will narrow it down even further. So I'm just going to go through a couple more slides. I'm going to let you continue to explore, and hopefully the last few minutes of this session we'll be able to talk about what did you find, or did you not find something that should be included that wasn't included. And I do want to mention, Camtasia is one of the exceptions. So 98% of all the resources on MTech are freely available. They all have a premium. Many of them have a premium level, so you get a certain amount for free, and then you can get more if you purchase a membership or subscription. Camtasia is one that it's a really useful tool, so we did want to include that one as well. So there's just a few exceptions there. Some of the Adobe products are also posted, but we also tell you how you can get to Adobe, maybe using the free smartphone apps. So that's something to look at. The impact of MTech is also posted on the MTech website. I'm going to just go there, and one of our menus is MTech's impact and statistics. It shows you that we have issued more than 3,700 badges throughout the history. MTech has been around for about 5 years. Before that, we had another project that we kind of learned what we wanted to change and improve. We had SUNY Tools of Engagement project for 5 years. That evolved into SUNY MTech. And you can also click this link if you want to see what people are saying about MTech. It has some quotes from participants and a few videos from faculty who have experienced it. We have just reached over 35,000 learners, and those learners are from 150 plus countries across the world. The circles on this map show whether or not those areas, so right now you see a large circle over New York State. So SUNY has paid our salaries, and we definitely market the most to SUNY campuses, so they have our biggest number of participants. Other participants include Mexico, India, and also in Singapore. The word about this project spread to the civil service throughout Singapore, and we had trainers of their police force, their firefighters, their EMTs, and other civil service members who were learning how to create effective training materials for those that they were working with. So that was really exciting to see as well. We have a breakdown. So we have, about 25% instructors who are in there, about 18% student learners, people who are in academia, so staff, but not an instructor. And then also about 10% of people who are outside of academia have participated. This is very useful, even just to increase your emerging technology knowledge and skills as a person, whether or not you're in academia. These are tools that you use throughout your life. So we do a survey when people complete, or actually at the end of their participation, and we ask, how much did the course help you extend your lifelong learning strategies? And we've had 75% participation, or I'm sorry, 75% who say that they have increased their lifelong learning strategies either quite a bit or very much. And another one, the ability to use emerging technologies, we had 77% respond that it has enhanced their abilities quite a bit or very much. And comfort level, I think for me, that one's very critical. If we can just help you get a little bit more comfortable exploring the tools and not being afraid to experiment and try these out in your teaching and learning, that's a really good thing. 91% of the participants say they would recommend this course to friends and colleagues. And something that we've seen also is that most people intend to use the MTech Wiki even after they're done with the course. And that is really great to see through the site analytics. One of the final statistics I'm going to show you is just the extent that people are appreciating the digital badges and the Coursera certificates and sharing them as they are out looking to increase their, whether they're applying to a graduate school or applying for tenure at a professor level position. So that is just some of the impact that is available.
Robin, if I can jump in here real quick. I just wanted to give you your 10-minute warning, but also we had somebody share that they do use Edpuzzle in their online course. Students create a presentation with embedded questions for class response. So thank you, KQ, for that example.
Thank you. That is great to hear. If anybody, so we have about 10 minutes left, and I would love to take time to maybe ask you to unmute yourself if you would like to do that, and share any of the examples that you have found, or I'm just going to do maybe just this one more slide, and then we can talk a little bit about what you found on the MTech website. We can go there and take a look together. Actually, two more slides I'm going to share with you. So here's the URL again, mtech.suny.edu. And on the About menu, you can find many ways to share information with your colleagues, with your LinkedIn networks, with your students. We have announcements that you can highlight and paste into an email or share out through social media. There are a number of flyers that you can print out and hang around campus. Small little takeaways. I have business cards that I keep with me, and those are available to print out as well. There's a 1-minute video. It's on the home page. Kind of says what I just said, but in a very shortened 1-minute message. And let's see, one more critical slide I want to share. So MTech needs help. We would love help from anybody. Everybody on this call, I'm sure, would be extremely well qualified to help us either just share information about MTech, to contribute new tools and resources. Everybody that completes the course is asked to become an MTech fellow. It was wonderful at SUNY CIT last year. Our keynote speaker was Rihanna, a faculty member from SUNY Empire. She is now with the RAND Corporation, and as she was highlighting her experiences, she had down that she was a fellow of the SUNY TOPE project that I mentioned that MTech has grown from. So it's great to see people list that qualification on their CVs. So we would being a fellow really entails going into the course and helping others feel comfortable and sharing encouragement and other resources through the discussion forums and through social media. We would love to have people who are interested to help us do some additional research. We have an article right now that we are working on that we want to be able to dig into our 10 years of data and say, here is the data behind why we are making some of these changes that I mentioned. And probably the most important thing, we would love to have people join us as grant writers. There's time and energy that needs to take place in order to keep this resource available. And so if anybody on the call or anybody you know of is interested to become a partner with us, please go to the About menu on our website and please reach out to us. We would love to talk with you. So let's see, I'm going to go back to the MTech Wiki, but now I would love it. We have about 7 minutes. I would love to hear questions or comments or examples. I would love to hear more examples. KG, if you want to share anything about the work that you did with Edpuzzle, whether it was adopted well by your students, whether you found it useful or frustrating. I'd like to open this up for questions and comments, and I'm going to try to not say anything, so hopefully somebody else will speak up for us.
Thank you, Robin. Yeah, feel free. You can unmute yourself. You have the controls to do that. You can type in the chat if you're more comfortable. We have a variety of backgrounds, I think, that have joined us, Robin. So someone from residence life, from nursing, an online learning librarian, instructional designer, coordinator for academic tech, online instructors. So that I think that there are a lot of different scenarios really that folks might bring to this conversation. So I'd love to hear from anyone Do you find this useful as professional development? It could be personally, it could be for the folks that you work with on your campus. And also, as KQ mentioned, there are ways to use this specifically in classes with different activities.
Okay. And KQ, we would love to hear, do you have something you can share with us about your work?
Sure. I work in the online program at SUNY Delhi in the nursing online program, and discussion questions are fundamental to every course. Of course, we get the feedback that students get bored with the discussion questions, and they're essential to evaluating if the students have met the learning outcome. So we need to keep these. So in one of the discussion questions, and it is in my curriculum course, students are required to create a presentation, and I'm pretty sure it's on an instructional design model. They create it, and they will first create a video, and they use whatever they want, whether it's Novio, whether it's Screencast-O-Matic, whatever it may be. They upload it to Edpuzzle, and they have to keep in mind that when they originally created it, they have to make a pause at certain points so that they can then interject questions. And once they upload it, what I'd like to do is create a video so that there is the means to embed it in Brightspace, which is the platform we're using right now. But at this point, to lower their stress level, they're just embedding the link. So the rest of the students can go to the link, they watch the video, and then the students reply with the responses to the questions. And then we put in additional discussion questions for the responses. It's gone over okay. At least I think so.
Great.
And so,
yeah,
and it's part of the Master's in Education and Nursing. So that would hopefully be a tool that they can translate into their own nurse educator practice.
Great. That sounds like a great example. And, being able to, learn about a tool that they can then use later on in their career is very, right on target with what we're trying to do, trying to just introduce, people may not have known that some of these resources were available, or we've also had an article that had a couple graduate students help us with some of the research. And we did a qualitative study on the summary posts that people were sharing. And we did realize that many people commented. One of the most frequent trends that we saw is that people were saying when they look at somebody else's portfolio and just read the little paragraph or two reflection about how somebody used a tool, like KQ just described to us, they get ideas of their own. It's, oh, I didn't think of that. And maybe, I might just use it in this fashion. So we definitely have research to say, just by examining and learning from and observing what other people are using in their practices helps others come up with creative ideas to use in their own practice. And we do have also on the impact menu, we do have a gallery of some of the e-portfolios that have been created. And so just going there and looking at it, you can, blow it up if you'd like, or just kind of, peek through and see some examples. But I would love to encourage, is there somebody else that would like to share something that they've found on the MTech website, or something that is missing from the MTech website that they use, or any other comments or questions? We have just a couple minutes left. This is one of our, I think, a doctoral student from the University of Buffalo who has, oh no, actually, I don't think this was one of our international participants. This is the doctoral student from the University of Buffalo who did a really nice job on his portfolio. And you can click on the portfolios to examine them in more detail as well. So unless someone else has something to share, I am going to end with the slide that says, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us. There is the MTech email address. It's mtechmook@gmail.com. I'd like to again thank Erin Meany for allowing us this opportunity to share through the National Distance Learning Week. And thank you all for your time and attention.
It's been my pleasure, Robin. Thanks so much for doing this. We really appreciate you and all that your team does for MTech and for SUNY for helping us to continue to be lifelong learners. Just want to encourage folks to check out other sessions this week on our website and also on the USDLA website. They're the partner organization that sponsors National Distance Learning Week, and they do a wonderful job of promoting our SUNY webinars as well. So give them a look and see what's happening there. That came out really tiny. Let me repaste that for you. So thank you again, Robin, and thanks to all of you for your attention and your time. I hope you find some valuable resources as you explore MTech.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Thanks, Erin.